Ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to share the key insights from the European Court of Auditors Annual Report for 2023 with you today. The report delivers an audit opinion regarding the reliability of the EU's financial statements and assesses the legality and regularity of the associated transactions. It also provides an estimated overall error rate for EU budget spending, reflecting the percentage of funds that might not be used in compliance with established rules and regulations. Structured into chapters that correspond to different spending areas, it includes specific error rates for certain sectors. Notably, we also have a dedicated section on Recovery and Resilience Facility, RRF spending, which operates under a distinct delivery model. Now, regarding its significance, this report is the cornerstone of the ECA's efforts embodying our commitment to enhance EU operations by identifying areas for improvement and potential risks. While we spotlight areas of concern, we also acknowledge successful practices. What are the key takeaways from our 2023 annual report? Starting with the EU accounts, we found them to accurately represent the EU's financial standing and provide a clean opinion on their reliability. The total revenue for this year stands at 248.4 billion euros, which also receives a clean opinion. Now, let's turn our attention to expenditure. In 2023, total payments from this budget were 191.2 billion euros. The EU's long-term budget entails both the multi-annual financial framework, MFF, and Next Generation EU, and within NGEU funding, the RRF represents a distinct approach, which is why we offer separate assessments of the regularity of 2023's spending, one for traditional EU budget spending and another for RRF. For the MFF, our findings indicate a continuing rise in the error rate for EU budget spending, now at 5.6%, an increase from 4.2% in 2022. This indicates a substantial rise in undetected errors, prompting us to maintain an adverse opinion for the fifth consecutive year. Specifically, looking at cohesion policy, accounting for nearly 40% of our audit, the estimated error rate has surged to 9.3%, rising from 6.4% in 2022. Common issues included ineligible costs and public procurement irregularities. We identified factors such as time pressure to spend due to the conclusion of the 2014-2020 MFF, competing financial resources including RRF, and pandemic-related challenges, all contributing to increased error levels. Our assessment has revealed chronic inadequacies in member state audit authorities' work, which have systematically reported misleadingly low error rates. Coupled with our findings and the Commission's audit outcomes, we concluded that the control and management systems in several member states are inadequate as we near the end of the eligibility period. As for migration and border management, which falls under heading 4 of the 2021-2027 MFF, this sector accounts for 2.1% of spending in 2023. While we do not provide a specific error rate here, our reviews uncovered errors in nearly a third of the transactions we examined. In the realm of neighborhood and the world, which represents our external action funding, we found total spending in this area reached 15.2 billion euros in 2023, accounting for 7.9% of the EU budget. However, alarming results emerged from our audit, indicating a high risk of error. Of the 72 transactions we examined, over half, specifically 37, were affected by errors related to ineligible beneficiaries and public procurement irregularities. Our findings underline the need for improved internal control systems, particularly given the issues we identified during our visits to EU delegations and the significant shortcomings in managing blending operations. To address these issues, we recommend that the Commission take essential measures, including improving control systems for pre-financing, providing clearer guidance on shared cost allocations, ensuring strict compliance with visibility rules, enhancing field monitoring visits, and reinforcing monitoring mechanisms for blending operations. As the reporting member for this area of the MFF within Court's Chamber 3, I can attest to the vital importance of these recommendations in safeguarding the EU's financial integrity and upholding its values worldwide. Summarizing, our compliance work reveals a significant rise in the error levels for EU budget spending, primarily driven by cohesion policy. Now, moving to the RRF. It's crucial to note that RRF-funded projects often mirror those in cohesion, overseen by similar national bodies. However, the RRF's financing not linked to costs model means payments to member states are not tied to compliance with EU and national rules. In 2023, total RRF expenditure reached 53.6 billion euros, with significant findings of financial impact across the milestones and targets we assessed. We issued a qualified opinion on RRF expenditure, highlighting systemic weaknesses and a notable assurance gap that jeopardizes the EU's financial interests. Alarmingly, investigations have cited 233 active funding fraud cases related to the RRF within EU member states, emphasizing the need for future EU funding models to better secure financial integrity. Finally, as we look at broader macroeconomic challenges, EU debt has escalated to 458.5 billion euros, exacerbated by borrowing for the Next Generation EU initiative, raising serious questions about repayment mechanisms and future revenue generation. While I wish I could cover more details today, I encourage you to explore the comprehensive findings laid out in our annual report and the provided summary materials. Thank you for being engaged. I appreciate your interest.